Hi everyone, and welcome back to Harvesting Home. I am so happy to be with you. It is spring and we have a great project that I want to share with you today. It's been a while since we've done a video, and I just thought it was time for us to get on here and to share some of the great projects that we have for spring and summer. I've been sharing on the blog about my recent trip to Round Top, Texas, and it's one of the largest flea markets I know in the United States, maybe even the world. And I want to share with you one of the things that I found at the Round Top flea market. It's something that I really had on my list to pick up, and I got it for a great bargain. We're going to do a project with it today, and it's going to be easy. It's something that you can do, and it's really inexpensive. I don't know about you, but I love to go to flea markets. I love to antique shop, but it can be a little bit overwhelming. And so I've given you some tips about going to flea markets and what you should do, maybe some just hints. And one of the things that I do on my trip is I try to make a list of things that I'm looking for. That way I can kind of stay focused. And this year, really one of the things that I should have put on my list was to take a trailer. Next time I'm gonna do that, because I left behind some things that I really wished that I'd had room for, but not this year. Maybe next year we'll be able to do that. But one of the things that was on my list was to look for a basket. And I was able to find this basket at the flea market, and I was so excited about this. My husband went with me, and it's really a good thing to give him something to search for. And so we walked into this tent, and this basket was sitting towards the back of the tent, and he immediately saw it. He spotted it, and this is what I would call kind of a fishing basket. It's got the flat back, and I'll tell you what I'm going to use it for. It's something that's becoming very popular right now, and you may have seen it. The minute I walked into this booth, the person running the booth started saying, tell me what you want to pay for things. I'm ready to bargain. And that's one of my tips when you go to these flea markets, that they set their prices knowing that you want to bargain. So you don't have to pay list price. And this was listed at $22, and I didn't even have to bargain, because she immediately said, oh, I'll take $11 for that. And I didn't even question it. I was so excited. I said, oh, okay, yeah, $11? I think that I could probably do that. So this basket was in such good condition. And the other good thing that was great about that was it was at the beginning of our trip, so we could put things in it that we had purchased as we went throughout our shopping trip. But I don't know if you can see. I mean, it's got great straps. It's got just there were a few little things on the bottom, but on the inside of this basket at the bottom, it's got a solid bottom there. So it's really in great condition. In fact, when I went to a few other booths, I had some of the vendors asking me, where did you get that basket? How much did you pay for it? And they all would say, you got a great deal. And I knew that I got a great deal, so I was so excited about it. So what we're going to do today with this basket, I don't know if you've seen recently, one of the growing things that we're seeing in trends is to use a basket like this as your front door wreath. And instead of a wreath. And so that's what I'm going to do today. Is I'm going to use some flowers in this basket, and I'm going to make an arrangement for my front door for spring. And I'm going to keep the lid open. I actually really some people might choose to take the lid off, but I actually think this is something that gives it some character. So I want to keep the lid open, and I can use the strap to hang it with the door hanger. Or probably what I'm going to do is just use the lid and something back here to secure it so that we can see that. And then I can even keep the strap hanging down in the front, because I think it really gives it character. And I actually like the leather. I think all the different textures are something that just really give it character and work together. So now, one thing that I really wanted to do for spring, as far as the arrangement goes, I want to give a full disclaimer here. I am absolutely not a florist. I am not a professional florist. I have no experience, but I know what I like, and I have a feeling that you probably know what you like too. And I just want to encourage you that look at pictures. Obviously, we all use Pinterest, And you can get ideas of how to arrange flowers. And you don't have to be a pro at this. You can just look at pictures, get ideas, and practice and do it yourself, because, you know, practice makes perfect. And this is something for you. And I think that we all can agree that you're going to use this for yourself, and you don't have to be professional, and it's something that you will love. So I just want to put a full disclaimer out there. Keep practicing, keep looking at those pictures, keep doing it for yourself, and you're going to get better and better each time. Now, what I did is I want to use a kind of a wildflower look. I'm in Texas, and you know, bluebonnets this time of year are everywhere. And you know, when we went down to Round Top, they were just beginning to come up. We had a big freeze, a big snowstorm this year, and so I was afraid maybe they were going to be a little bit late or even not come up. But we got to see some of the bluebonnets, and they're beautiful. And I'm sure that wherever you are, you have beautiful wildflowers in the spring. And so I wanted to have kind of that fresh cut flowers, fresh cut wildflowers in this basket, and just kind of coming out, nothing really real set, and I don't know what the right word is, but just planned maybe. I don't want it to be perfectly placed. I want it to just look like it kind of happened. So that's actually a good thing too when you're not an experienced professional. But a few things that I do know is I want to kind of have it where the taller things will come out the back and we'll work towards the front to get a little bit shorter. A few of the tools that we're going to use today is, and I really want to put a plug in for a cordless glue gun. If you don't have a cordless glue gun and you need to make an investment in any of your craft supplies, this is something that is amazing. The base plugs in, and then you have your cordless glue gun, and it is so convenient when you're just moving around, you don't have the cord in the way. It is wonderful, and it's really only about a little over $20, maybe $22. You might want to look into that because it is a great investment. The other thing that I just can't do without anymore are these wire cutters. Now, when you go to the craft stores, they have those small wire cutters. They're okay. They'd be called floral wire cutters. These are what I would call industrial wire cutters. These cut through these big, thick stems. Those small wire cutters do not cut through these big, thick stems very well. But these, no problem at all. This will cut through a nail. So get you a pair of these nice wire cutters. I've got some of these floral stakes, these wooden stakes, and you'll see why I have these in just a minute. And then I've got some scissors. I don't know that I'm really going to need these scissors now. I had them in case I needed them to cut off our price tags on the flowers. And then you will see pictures of some of the different flowers that I got. Yellow is a really popular color this year, and be sure to go to the blog. I show my spring table. I have a lot of black and white. I have a farmhouse look in my house, and so I have a lot of black and white, but the two colors that are I can't remember what it's called, the Pantone colors for this year are called Illuminating, which is really close to what I would say this color yellow. So Illuminating, and then it's a gray, and I can't remember there's a name of the gray. So those two colors are the Pantone colors of the year. And so I just started trying to intersperse different pops of yellow in my house. So this arrangement has actually several different spring wildflowers in it, some purples and some just light pastel colors, but then I've got the bright yellow in there to kind of give it that bright, cheerful look. So I'm excited about that. All right, so the first thing that we're going to do, and we're going to get started, I'm going to give you a few tips. We're going to start putting it in there, and then we'll kind of speed up through it so that you can see the end. But we're going to start with the basket and some dry foam. That's just kind of securing that foam in there so it's not going to move. You see? That foam is secure. All right. Now, I'm going to clear space. Now that we've got our foam and everything ready inside the basket, I'm going to start layering our flowers. And I want to start with the tallest flowers first. and kind of build out from that. And again, we're just going to kind of measure that. I've got some of these really pretty yellow flowers, and if you'll notice, obviously these are way too tall. So you can kind of see, I just want to bring this down a little bit. And I'm going to get our nice big wire cutters here. And I'm going to just start off. You can start off shorter. Just kind of measure. Kind of see how it is. Now the other thing too, because I'm going to hold this up, this basket up, the lid, I want to see how that is. So this one, and it doesn't even have to go all the way in the foam. So we're going to just bring it in here, like that. All right. The other thing too is once you get your flowers in there, when you get these from the store, they're always just really flat. So it's really good to fluff those branches out. All right, so we've gotten started here. You can kind of see where we're going. And now I think, let's see, we've got some purple that we can add in. We've got this purple with some green, and we've got this purple right here. So this is two. So I think I'm gonna go with this one first. Again, a lot of this is just really trial and error. If I get in here and I put something in and I decide that I don't really like that, it's okay. We're just gonna move it. We're gonna play around with it a little bit, and until we really come up with that look that we love. There we go. All right. It's coming along. Do you see? All right, very good. So we've got our 3 there. So now as we go, we're gonna start adding in, I've got these 2 pieces here that start adding in a little bit more, because you see we have a lot of gaps in here where you can kind of see through it, and we're gonna fill that in, and you're not gonna be able to see that, I promise. All right, getting there. Very good. Big basket on my front door. It's kind of growing. I do have a really big front door, so you might want to consider the size of your door. And this is a fairly large basket, and I think scale is important. I tend to think it's better to go a little bit bigger than smaller, because it just gives some impact. Now obviously you don't want to go huge, because then it just looks odd, but I do think it's always better to err on the side of bigger than smaller, because when you go smaller, it just kind of loses, there's just something about it just kind of loses that impact. But when you go with something that's a little bit larger, it's just like this wow factor. So this one is going to be kind of big, and especially these flowers are starting to grow, but I think it's going to look really, really good. I'm going to add in just a few more things, and then I'm gonna speed it up so that you can see the finished product.